Hi, guys, and welcome. Whoops, my picture's not up, is it? Welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for October 29th. I am here with my co-host Scarlet, who still has a cyberpunk picture, but hey, at least you got a picture, right?
Yeah, it's all purpose.
It works. It's all
I'm
purpose.
floating through space or the nebula or whatever happening down below here.
Yeah, I just used the one we normally use for Sci-Fi Vision because we don't have a title yet. You guys, we gotta people can help us maybe come up with one. We need a title for Lazarus and for Talamasca. Yeah, we got to figure something out. Then I'll make a new animation. But yeah, but thanks everybody if you're joining us. Hopefully people will be along later. I don't know. YouTube will tell me people are waiting, and then they're not connected in NDB or in StreamYard. So sometimes I think it's StreamYard. But anyway, if you're here and you're listening to us, thank you. We appreciate it. Make sure that you don't forget to join us tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have our Halloween party with trivia and all that good stuff, Mad Libs. And hopefully we'll have that all going well. And hopefully I will get my new animation working and not be screaming at my computer by then. But
I mean, I would come up with the name Guys Gals for Talamasca, but I know Karen doesn't like Guy at all.
Yeah, I think Karen dislikes Guy a little too much.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we could think of something different or something. The guys that
There was another channel that said the same thing she did, that she couldn't root for him.
Yeah, he's not a great character yet, but hopefully that'll change. Hopefully we'll start liking him a little bit more. But tonight we're going to do Harlan Coben's Lazarus, the first two episodes. And I tried to find.
So, have you read any of his work, like his novels?
No, I have not. I have seen
yeah.
all the English versions, all the different English shows,
Yeah.
and really liked them all. And I started one of the dubbed ones, but I don't think I finished it, if I remember.
Because I was reading about him. He's pretty prolific. He has a lot of novels.
He does. I mean, like I said, I've only seen the adaptations, but I've liked them all. They've all been really good, what I've watched. So, I got to admit though, which I said this last night when we were kind of talking about it a little bit, that the first episode for some reason didn't really grab me. I couldn't get super into it. I'm not sure why, but then I watched the second episode and I was, I really like it now and I want to keep watching it. So I don't know. For whatever
Maybe the
reason,
first one was just more of a setup and then there was more action in the second one when it came to the ghosts and stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. But I mean, I'm definitely all in now and I like it. I like the idea too, that it can be like supernatural without necessarily being supernatural, that there, we have come up with some different theories and ways that that maybe this is happening, that it will end up, because I personally don't think it's really ghosts, just because I've never seen any of his shows be like a paranormal thing.
Yeah.
But I meant to find out last night and I forgot to look it up after. I think that this one might actually not be based on a book. I think he just wrote the screenplay. And
yeah, I think so too.
There is in a typo. I'm talking based on a book. Yeah, because I remember reading. I'm pretty sure it was this one that it was. Yeah, it's just an original story, and that's what makes me think that there's always, I guess, that possibility that it could be something different because it's not from one of his books. But considering he doesn't normally write stuff like that, I would assume that it's probably going to end up something a little different than what we're being led to believe. I don't know. What did you think of the first two episodes?
Kind of like what you did. The first one didn't really grab me, but then I watched the second one. And it also might be because I was watching the first one from a link, and then the second one, I realized I had Amazon Prime, and I'm like, what am I doing? I can watch it with closed captioning and everything that I like, and it's a better quality.
Yeah, that's
so that might be why I like the second episode better.
No, that, to be honest, that might have been part of my problem too, because the first time I watched it was the first one was on a screener, and there's no captions. I hate that because there's a lot of times that you can't understand things, and I'm like, what did they say? What did they say? And after rewinding it like 5 times, I finally
or if there's a joke, there's a joke that's kind of subtle, like,
and then you miss it. Yeah,
British humor is kind of subtle.
Yeah, that's true. Some of the stuff in here is a little different because it clearly was. Well, I mean, I don't know. It was made for. I think it was made for American TV, but I don't think it's filmed. I think gets filmed over there. But yeah, I just think sometimes it does make it harder when you can't double check things on captions. At least
Mm-hmm.
it a lot of
Yeah.
times annoys me. So I had watched this one on Prime too, so maybe that made a difference. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Like when
But
they were talking, about the Juniper book and all that, I kind of wanted the subtitles there so I could learn about that.
that's fair. Yeah, that was some
Yeah.
of the details of the things like that.
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't know if that's why or not, but I do feel like the second episode, and maybe it was like you said, maybe because there's more action. I don't know. But by the end
Mhm.
of the second episode, I'm definitely invested in it now. It just took a little bit
Yeah.
to get there. But now I think it's pretty good. And I have lots of theories. But we'll kind of get to some of that as we go through it. Now, I will say these pictures are not great. I could not find a good video source of this to get good
Mm.
pictures,
Mhm.
unfortunately. So they're not the best. But they're something, right? So it's something. But we have 2 episodes to do tonight anyway, so I think hopefully we won't be too slow through it anyway, because I don't want to be here till
Yeah.
super late, because I do have to get up really early. I have 5 different interviews tomorrow. It's going to be a very long day. So I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
I need sleep. All right. So when we start the episode, we first get flashbacks. And this is when we meet his name's actually Joel, isn't it? I want to call him Laz because that's what he goes by, but I feel like his name is his name Joel?
Joe. Wasn't it
Joe or
Joe?
Joel? No, it's
Joel?
Joel. It's Joel. Yeah, it's Joel. Like Last of Us, Joel. Yeah, they call him Laz. So but yeah, it gives the flashbacks of his sister, his twin sister,
Yeah,
Sutton.
I like the arty way this was done with all the imagery. It's very dreamy and
Yeah.
arty. I like artiness,
It is, but it also
stylistic
kind of
choices.
makes but it also you say that and it's true, but it also kind of makes me wonder if some of
Oh
what
yeah,
we're seeing maybe isn't 100% the way it happened. I mean,
yeah,
granted, this
yeah.
happened, I forget, 20 years ago, whatever. Let's see,
Hmm.
98. So it was 27 years ago. So, I mean, maybe his memory isn't as sharp, or it's because he was a kid. I don't know. Or maybe it was just a stylistic
Yeah.
choice. But yeah, it was
Hmm.
a little
Or a
dreamy.
little bit of column A, a little column B.
Yep, could be that too. But she was his twin sister, I guess. I have that written down. I didn't remember that, but apparently she was his twin sister. And
Okay.
he found her body.
Yes.
So he goes to, and this, as I said, I don't have tons and tons of pictures, but he finds her body, and then he goes to find his father, who is Dr. Lazarus Sr. I don't have, I was going to say, does he have a first name? I don't have his first name. I'm looking at the cast list and trying to find Bill Nye, and it's not popping up. Because I do not remember what his father's name is. Let's see. Hold on, I'll find it.
Oh, it was on the tombstone too, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I know, but
Papa
uh,
Lazarus.
yeah, you know what? I'm looking in the wrong column. I should be looking at the actor's name, not at the character name. I don't know. It's hard to look when I'm going fast. Oh, there it is. It just says Jonathan. His name was Jonathan. There we go.
Yeah.
It's just easier that I have something to call him. That's a little more
Differentiate
accurate.
between all the Lazaruses.
Yeah, Sister with Lazarus. But
Lazarus.
yeah, but we don't get that much of the flashback. We almost immediately after he has that vision go back into the present day, and if we're calling him Laz, Joel, whatever, he's getting ready to talk to his patient because he is also a psychiatrist, and it's a serial killer Arlo, and you can see there the laptop with the news story on it. Yeah, he is waiting. I believe he's waiting for prison, and or waiting for trial to go to prison. Will probably go to prison, but I think he's waiting trial right now. But anyway, that part's not important. What the part that's important is there's his family there. There's Laz's family. Is that he does get a call from his father that he ignores and doesn't answer, and he talks to this guy, this Arlo, and he goes through this whole thing of how he's talking to God and that he doesn't trust him, and he asks God to punish him, and that he's going to be punished because God agreed. And that's whenever Lazarus' phone rings and he gets a call about his father. So I guess it's supposed to be spooky. I think it's just the guy being a smart ass and thinking he knows things and making it out to be something it's not. But yeah, it was bad timing, at least, if anything, if nothing else. But his sister calls and tells him that his father, who we were talking about, is also a psychiatrist, that he died supposedly by shooting himself. And I guess that does not seem to them something that he would do, but
because he didn't have a gun. He didn't own a gun.
That's right. He does. You're right. He does say he didn't own a gun. So yeah, it to them it seems like this shouldn't have happened, and they're trying to figure out why it happened. The only thing they do have, and there's a picture of the city that looks really cool. So he comes to talk to his sister house, and they talk about the suicide note he left, which says it's not over. And he drew a picture. I thought I had a picture of the drawing, maybe not. Of a table with 3 legs, or a chair with 3 legs, like a table. And I have a picture of the newspaper because he had the article on his daughter's death on his desk too. But yeah, Laz thinks that maybe there's something to that note because it doesn't make a lot of sense. And we talk later, I don't know when it is, but we had talked about yesterday his whole theory that like it's the end of a sentence and it's not the full suicide note, and maybe his secretary or
it starts with a lowercase letter instead of an uppercase letter, and their dad never did that in letters.
Yeah, so there's some question as to whether this is really from his father, but that is the only information they have right now, which isn't a whole lot to go on. So
or if it's just an incomplete letter.
Yeah, or it just could be incomplete. But if it's incomplete, we have to assume that the rest of it's somewhere. Either they didn't find it or somebody took it. And the question would be then why? So he goes to the bar to see his friend. This guy is Seth, I think is his name. Does that sound right?
They had a little Portishead in there. A little trip hop going on in the background.
They have a what?
The band Portishead was playing in the background.
Oh, it's a band. Okay. I didn't know what you meant. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, they go to the club and he talks about his father. There's really not a whole lot to get from the conversation they have other than that his father died, and he does run into, see, that's already after he's back to the bar. He runs into his ex, who I didn't take a picture of. I couldn't get a picture of, but his ex-wife is at the bar. She works there.
Bella.
So we find that out, which is kind of interesting. And then, there's really not a whole lot of conversation that happens other than he's going to the bar because he's upset because of.
That's how I feel like the first episode's a lot of introduction, and
it is. It's a lot of exposition, and a lot of it's not super important. So he goes back to his father's office, which is like this really crazy, fancy office, which is really great office. I like the office. I want that office. I want the office minus the dead people, hold on a second.
Yeah, you don't want some dead people walking around.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to random dead people.
They probably don't really pay you well.
What?
So they probably don't pay you well.
They probably don't. No, if they're not on this plane, I doubt that they will pay you. But he potentially maybe falls asleep when he's sitting there. We're to assume after that it was more of a vision, but this woman shows up, Cassandra, and that's her there, and she immediately thinks that he's his father. So there's some question, and I wanted to ask you about this. I'll ask you about it now, even though they don't talk about it till later. But like, there's some question, I guess, like what he's seeing and why. Is he seeing a ghost, or is he seeing something through his father's eyes? Because all of the people think, they all think he's his father. So is he seeing like events that already happened? It's not super clear. Like I thought.
I thought since she died like 20 years ago, she was seeing him younger. Maybe he looks like his dad at those 20 years gone.
And that is what I thought, and that was part of my question with that. But at the very end of the second episode, which we'll talk more about then, when his sister sees him, she's like, "Hey, Dad," and I would think that his twin sister would recognize her own brother, which is what makes me think that perhaps
Oh
it
yeah, that's
isn't.
right.
Yeah, and that made me
That's
question,
what
like,
I thought when I thought I messed up, because I thought maybe that was his kid instead of his sister.
no, no, it's supposed he calls her
So if
son.
it's
Yeah,
his sister, yeah, that's weird. Okay.
it is. No, and that's why there's that whole thing when he's talking to his father, and his father says something like they're not dead because it's what's happening to them at that moment.
Yeah.
Which is kind of another way to look at it. So yeah, I don't know. I just wonder, is he? But I guess the biggest question I
Yeah,
have
like
is,
story walking. Like sometime you
yeah,
want to go
kind of.
story walking.
But I guess the biggest question I have though is he seeing what his father saw as it actually happened, or is
Mhm.
he seeing like a version of it? Because we know from other events that like it's not possible that I don't think that she had actually killed her boyfriend in the office. So that
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
that was just her relaying what she wanted to do, and it like to him he saw it as a fully
Yeah.
realized action, it can't just be past
Yeah.
events. So yeah, I don't know how much we can trust what he sees. But the point
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this conversation is that she tells him, as her psychiatrist, that she's having murderous thoughts about her controlling boyfriend Neil, and she imagines him dead with blood gushing from his head after she hit him. And we know from the
Mhm.
second episode that it seems maybe that's what she did. And she also talks about a stalker.
But
And
she
we
also
don't
talks
really.
about feeling nothing. I felt nothing.
Yeah, yeah, she's kind of numb. They do, and
Yeah.
also they drink some alcohol, which I have to question how great of a psychiatrist he is if he gave his patients alcohol, but it is what it is. But but yeah,
Maybe when before she died, it was different.
it was whatever, 27 years ago, but still.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only thing he really finds out is that her boyfriend was controlling. She had a stalker and she wanted to kill her boyfriend, and those are kind of the only clues we get. And then he wakes up, or he doesn't wake up. He might have woken up. We don't know exactly what happened, but when he turns around, she's gone. I had thought at the beginning that he was supposed to think it was a dream, which is why I keep saying wakes up, but I
Yeah.
don't think it was supposed to actually be a dream necessarily. But when he goes to let's see, he talks to his, I don't think I have it. There's more of Cassandra. Sorry, I'm not going through the pictures. I should have been. I love that office, of that whole Art Deco
Oh
estate.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I like the design.
I was looking at some of the Persian rugs too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, nice fancy rugs. Um,
Yeah, my
so
parents used to have a nice, like, really small hand woven one in their like little sitting room, because I was thinking like people don't have sitting rooms anymore where you just come in and talk.
yeah,
Little sitting room, little salon room.
yeah. So put it in his office, I guess, instead.
Yeah.
Um, so he comes back, talks to his sister here, his other sister, and we find out about that girl that he saw at the bar, whose name was Bella, and that she has a kid
Mhm.
named Paul. That is his ex-wife. The kid's name's Aiden, and I kind of think there's a possibility that might be his kid, but I guess we'll have to wait and see with that. But the only thing we really find out is that he's going to go talk to Margot about his father's last days at work, and also about Cassandra. But when he goes to see her and he asks, wait, there's the kid. Sorry, I do have a picture of Aiden there. That's the Bella's kid. So he goes to the office and he talks to his secretary Margot, and this is where he asks like if she ever talked about Cassandra or anything, and she won't really answer them. She's kind of suspicious and doesn't help him. And when he finds the file later, he finds out she was a patient there, and he's trying to find out more about what happened. And he goes over to where her address is in the file, and this guy tells him that they had bought the house after she died, like 20 whatever it was, 20 some years ago.
What a
So
steal.
yeah, what a steal.
Well, because it lied dormant for several years.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no one
And
wanted to touch it.
I'm surprised they didn't smell the body though. But then again, she had all those air fresheners, so
That
Um,
reminded me of the movie Seven, if you ever saw it, the movie Seven.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about that other than the head in the box, to be honest. I have
No, they
seen
had that
footage.
like one guy who was just keeping like barely alive, but it had all these like air fresheners in a room. And as soon as I saw his air fresheners, I was like, "Oh God,
Yeah, I
no!"
kind of figured there was a body in there. But
Yeah.
he finds out from this guy that Cassandra has been dead for a long time. And he does call and confront that secretary, like, why didn't you tell me she was dead? And she like acts like the phone's not working and she can't hear him. So he never does get an answer. I don't know. It's very suspicious, that Margot. So I don't know what's going on with that. But he will come back to this guy at some point in the next episode. But first, they have to go to the funeral for his father. And there's somebody watching them. And I don't have the picture of this one here, but there is somebody that seems to be watching the funeral that's hanging back. And we don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to be somebody important, but we don't really know who it is. Um, but yeah, they have the funeral, and there's this guy. I
Mhm.
don't care what character. I think he looks like Victor. It immediately made me think of
Oh,
Victor.
Victor. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely that vibe.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize though that is the guy that was hanging around. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, but see what I think what when I first saw this, what had confused me is I thought by the way he was dressed, I thought this was supposed to be him standing there like 20 years ago or whatever. But this
Uh,
is now. So that's why I was a little confused by that. But
mhm.
so Laz is trying to find out more about Cassandra and that she was murdered. And this is when he starts asking his friend Seth for more help on the case. And he's kind of like, I can't help you with this. He's a cop. He's not supposed to give people information about things, but he's kind of pushing him to find out what he can, because he says that she died a year after Sutton. I don't know if it was supposed to be like exactly a year, because I
Mm.
question that if it's just like, oh, this woman died a year after her. Like, I don't know that that to me is really any kind of evidence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. So I was a little. I think that that would have made more sense if he said she died on the date of her death. But I think it
She
was
died on
more.
the date of her death.
Yeah, no, I think it was more just like, oh, she died a year after her. So I don't know why, just because there was somebody that was murdered a year later, that necessarily means their murders are in any way connected, unless it was like the anniversary of her death.
Unless it's a serial killer that just likes killing people on the same day of the year.
Well, but that's my point. If it was the same day of the year, they should have, I think, clarified that, because that to
Yeah.
me would have made more sense. But the way it was said, it didn't
Hmm.
seem like that. So I'm honestly not sure if they just didn't say that or if that's what they meant or not. But he doesn't, either way, he's kind of saying he can't help him, but of course we know he will. And then this woman was sleeping with his father at one point. She's I don't know, like the cop's boss. I guess she's like I don't know if she's a police chief or exactly what she is, but yeah, she is at the funeral as well. And also at the funeral, it's not a great picture, but it's the best one I could get at this point. There is his ex Bella and her new husband. They are at the funeral as well. So he talks a bit to them. We don't really gain anything, any information at this point. And if you want to stop me, by the way, go ahead, because I'm just kind of going through it,
Oh, that's fine.
waiting for you to be, stop me if you need to. And then he has a flashback about who we find out is Sam Olson, which is the guy he saw earlier at the funeral, or that we saw earlier. I don't know if he saw him, that was hanging around, but this is the
Mhm.
flashback in the past. And he was the main murder suspect from his sister's case at the beginning.
Mhm.
But he was released and they didn't have enough evidence, but he's like looking at his house and kind
Mhm.
of thinking about that guy, and yeah, trying to figure
But
out
he
still.
still has that kind of like taboo now with him.
Yeah, yes, people still treat him differently
Hmm.
because they thought that he did it. So every time something bad in the town happens, they like come blame it on this poor guy, and
You think
yeah.
he'd move?
Well, he said that he thought if he moved he would look guilty, but I feel like at this
Yeah.
point he could move, maybe back then,
Yeah.
but he could now. um So we don't really again, a lot of it, I feel like nothing really happened. I mean, stuff happens in the episode, but so much of this, I feel like I'm going through these pictures. I'm thinking, well, that isn't important. That isn't important. And I'm reading it. And
Well,
it's
it's an
really,
introduction. If you like the
it is. But
characters, then it's
yeah,
important to like know what
but
they
it's
come
not
from.
important for us to discuss
Look,
the
look at that
mystery.
ceiling, though. Look at that. I mean,
I know.
that's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's but they clearly have a lot of money. I mean, that kitchen's
Yeah.
huge, right?
Uh-huh.
Huge, huge. He talks to his sister again. I don't remember what their conversation really was, but it wasn't anything that really mattered. But he does see, I think I'm missing something
I
here
thought that's
because
where they talked about the juniper. What was it? What called the juniper?
the juniper something, but I think juniper bush. Okay.
Juniper bush.
Yeah, he said that is what you're right. That was what the sister's conversation was. He was telling her that his father was reading something called the Juniper Bush, and I don't think they discuss what the book's about till the second episode.
Yeah.
But he does. I thought I had here when he goes to this is before the gravestone, so this is before. So I think I skipped the fact that he saw the kid, his ex's kid, and he takes him back. He drives him back to his ex's house. And yeah, they're having some problems. So he was following after him, probably trying to find out about him. And that's a big reason why I think Laz is the father. I really do. But he goes and he does talk to Seth, who all he really says is that he thinks that she was murdered by her boyfriend Neil, but he was never charged and he went missing. And I've seen if it's anything their neighbors have locations. Yeah, they couldn't find him. He went missing. But that is, I can't read his last name, Croat. Anyway, he's the suspect that they think killed the woman or the man they think killed her, which we find out is not the case later on, but this is what they have to go on. And they never charged him and he went missing. So they couldn't do anything. But he wants Seth to keep digging because he honestly thinks that there's something else going on. And he also thinks that his father didn't kill himself. And I don't know if this was in this episode or not, but he asks him at some point to like check the gun residue and stuff to make sure that he actually did it and to prove it. And he basically says, it's a suicide. People aren't super interested in doing it. So there's not a lot of resources to check it out, but he does what he can, but he doesn't want to, get in trouble because he is a cop. So this is when Laz chases after the guy that was following him. And this guy here is not Sam Olsen, this guy that had been chasing him. They end up at Sutton's tombstone. There's the picture of the guy there. I'm starting to think that this might be Billy, who was Sutton's boyfriend that we find out about later. That's why some of this we're going in order. It's hard with this for me to be like, this clue means this, and we haven't really gotten to that point. But I think that might be Billy. But he doesn't, I don't think, I guess he does see him. He sees him when he took the mask off, but we have no clue who he is. The only other thing we get from this episode is that Arlo, that guy in prison from the beginning of the episode, that he was reading the same book, Juniper Bush. So is that important? Did he maybe give it to his father to read or tell him about it? Maybe his father went and read. I mean, I don't know, because I'm assuming there's a good chance that his father talked to this guy too, if he's a psychiatrist. I mean, he could have gotten the case from his father for whatever reason.
Is it a real book?
I don't know.
I had to look it up.
Yeah, let me look it up. Juniper Bush. Book. I better add book because it's just giving me literally a juniper bush. Which is
well, you get what you type in,
I don't see something. Wait, the Juniper Bush. Yeah, it is by Audrey Howard. Okay. So yeah, it is a book. We'll have to look more into it later, but it is a book. Legit. So now I lost what I was. Okay, so yeah, he's reading the same book, and is it important that he is? I don't know. But the main thing is when he comes back into his office again, to his father's office, this is where he actually sees his father, who he knows is dead. And he tells him, you're going to see more dead people like Cassandra. And I think he says something like, you need to help them. I can't remember exactly what he says, but he says something about they need to help him. So yeah. And like I said, that episode is a lot of exposition. I feel like we did not really, and maybe that's part of why I didn't like the first episode as much either, because we didn't really get any clues. Like in my opinion, the only thing we got from this episode is that he's talking to ghosts or what he's perceiving as ghosts. We didn't get any.
Yeah, but I think for an introduction, I think that's what you get. Like you introduce all the characters, you introduce the situation of his past, and then his, abilities, whatever they are.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I didn't get a whole lot of like part of me wanting to find out the answers to the mysteries yet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I feel like there wasn't enough of that mystery really. It's just sort of right now to me, it just sort of seems like a straightforward murder mystery with that girl and with his sister. I mean, it's a murder mystery, but it's not like other than he sees ghosts, there's not really anything strange about it at this point.
Do you think they should have done that in the first episode? Dangled a little strange at the end?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, the fact that he can see ghosts is strange, and that's part of it. But I feel like if you watch this show, like you knew that's what the show is about. So it wasn't something that surprised me. Like I think it would have been maybe more interesting if, and I don't know that they could have because it probably would have made the episode too long, but if they had been somehow able to introduce her boyfriend in the first episode, Cassandra's boyfriend, it might have brought a little bit more of the mystery. I don't know. And maybe not. Like, I know it needs to have exposition. I'm not saying it doesn't. Yeah. I think that if you're going to watch this, you need to watch the first two before you make a judgment on it.
Well, I'm just saying if they dangle a little strangeness at the end, maybe it would make people want to just continue. I mean, I wanted to continue anyway, but
yeah, I agree. It's something. I don't know. Like I said, I really liked the second episode a lot. So I'm glad that I gave it a chance and didn't just turn it off, because I know some people probably did. And I'm glad I'm glad I kept going. But I don't know. Is there anything that you really took from the first episode that I know we went through it really quick, but I'm just not sure if there's anything really to pull apart in this episode because it's pretty straightforward.
No, except for the juniper bush. Do you want to see what that's about?
Yeah, if we can find, I was going to see if we could quickly find a summary.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a psychology book.
I don't know. The only thing I'm finding is Goodreads, and I'm surprised I haven't found Amazon. I probably need to go to Amazon and type it in to actually find it, because that way at least it'll give us a summary, The juniper bush. Let's find out. All right. Now I'm getting stuff about plants. This is not what I intended.
How to take care of your juniper bush.
Yeah, that's not really what I was after. Who does it? Hi, Audrey Howard. Let's put in the title. At least I'm assuming this is.
Hopefully, it's the same one too, because somebody else could easily wrote a book called The Juniper Bush.
I can't remember if they said a author in the show or not. And it's. Yeah, there's one thing coming up that's not even listed right. So I don't know how accurate it is, but it said Christy.
Because it seemed like it was a psychological book, like a philosophical.
It did. And I wonder if it's the book they're talking about. Maybe isn't this, maybe it's not a real book. I don't know. But according to looking, there is a book, and this is what's written on Amazon. It says Christy's the only daughter of a wealthy businessman and betrothed to the squire's son. But just weeks before the wedding, tragedy strikes her family, and she's abandoned by her fiancé. Heartbroken and confused, she makes a hasty marriage, but never forgets her true love. See, that doesn't sound like necessarily what they're talking about.
A philosophy book.
But I do remember in the second episode, he said something about, didn't he say something about it was about abandonment or something? Because he was saying how his father would never abandon them like that. Like, it was important to him, and he thought that parents screwed their kids up when they left them. So father would have. So I guess if it has to do with the woman feeling abandoned, maybe it is that book. But I honestly don't know. I really can't. We'd have to dive a little bit deeper into that. But other than that, the only other things I think are kind of important are, what about the suicide note? It's not over. So, I mean, what do you think
about that? What's the table?
I don't know if the table was, see, this is what confused me a bit and why. And it's just, I guess I don't want to say I forgot, but it's the way they did it. Like
Mhm.
what is the picture of the table? Like I assumed when I saw the picture of the table, I thought that like he hung himself, but no, he shot
Mhm.
himself. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really connect. Is there any like reason that you can think of he would have drawn a table, or that it could be something other than a table? I was trying to think like if it
You
looks
put
like
your
an
ginger brush brush up on the
down,
stool.
yeah. Like what is it about? Because yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a stool. But I don't know. What do you think about his theory that part of the suicide note is missing?
I think the whole page is because he said like he thought a page one was missing,
Yeah.
and somebody took
His
it.
father his father does seem like he could be somebody who would write a really long involved note. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I could kind of see that. But I also have to wonder like what does it's not over mean? I mean, does that have to do with him dying? Does it have to do with Sutton dying? Like maybe he's saying the killer's still out there. I don't
Life after death.
yeah, I think we need to find out more about that. I'm trying to like I want to talk about clues, but a lot of them don't show up till the second episode. That's why I'm kind of like hesitant. Do we talk about it now or do we wait till we get to it? I don't. What about Arlo, the guy in the prison? I think he's just a red herring. I don't think
Yeah.
he's anybody personally. I think that he like I think that that part was kind of a cool little like him acting like he made his father die, but I don't clearly
Mhm.
that's not what happened. So I think that he's just a red herring.
Do you think he's just messing with them?
Yeah, I do think though that his ex-wife is going to probably play a bigger role at some point. Um, yeah, I don't know. All right, well, we can move on to the second episode unless you have anything in particular to add. I don't want to not give you a chance. Is there what else did you get from the first episode? Is there anything you can think of?
Portishead needle drop. I mean, I like some of the music in here.
Yeah. Oh, it
I
also
mean,
had
they bring back like a nice Chemical Brothers song I hadn't thought about for like about 30 years, so that was cool.
well, isn't this also the episode unless I don't know if it was in both episodes or not, but the windmill in your mind, the one that was from Severance, was it in
Oh
this one or
yeah, yeah. I was thinking
because
about
I
that because it
figured
was
you
in
mentioned that
Severance.
right away. Yeah, I
Yeah,
recognized that song. Which so I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And it's kind of got that like it's got like a spooky vibe, like the way it's
yeah,
sung.
yeah.
So I
Uh-huh.
think it's very fitting. I don't know if it had a purpose, but I liked it. I think that might be
Mhm.
in the second episode though. It's either in both or in the second.
It's in both.
Okay.
Yeah, they have
I
a lot of
remember
mood. They have a lot of mood with this and the Portishead, and then the cover of the Pixies. Where's My Mind? You know, it's got a mood.
oh yeah, where is my mind? I do remember that being one
Yeah.
of the let's
What
see.
what
That
what when is this supposed to take place? Like what
um
year?
I think it takes place now, I thought, because
Okay.
I mean they're using like laptops and cell phones and stuff.
Okay.
So I just
Because
kind
there's
of
a lot of deep like hits from the 90s, and I was kind of 100% sure maybe it wasn't
there
exactly
is, but
2025.
I mean, other than the music, is there anything that gave you that like something that made you think that?
No, just the music really.
Just music.
Or the
Okay.
feel, I guess. Maybe the feel.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't look. I think they say the murder happened 20 years ago, and I guess
Yeah.
technically it's 27, so it's
Hmm.
possible that they were round. I think it's more likely they were just
Yeah.
rounding, but it's possible they were like being exact, and it really is a few years ago. But I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe this is the feel because the person was killed 27 years ago. So it's that
It
feel.
might be. There's a lot of flashbacks and a lot of
Yeah.
yeah, stuff like that. All right. Well, if you guys in the chat, if anybody wants to talk, if you please, if you have theories, let us know. Do you have any theories? I'll tell you some of the theories I have because I know you weren't here yesterday when.
You don't want Kingle say or sponsored steak want to talk to us?
Yeah. I just ignore the Twitch spam.
You
There's a
don't
lot
even
of Twitch.
speak up, man. Speak up.
Yeah,
Give us
but
your theories.
but seriously, what do you think? Like, even if it's sort of partially from the second one, what are you thinking at this point?
I thought he was seeing ghosts.
Oh,
You
you
told
did?
me he's
Okay.
not. I
Well,
guess
that's right.
maybe I'm
He said he
wrong.
was. You can believe it. See, what I tend to think is, I think that maybe he had some kind of break when his father died, and
Yeah.
I think that like I kind of wonder if it's possible that he's like sitting and reading these case files and he's actually solving the murders, but like all in his head. because
Yeah.
that way he could still be helping his best friend to solve these murders. And it
Hmm.
just, whether or not his friend believes him or not, is kind of irrelevant. It would be a way that he could still solve them without it actually being ghost.
Yeah.
But that could not be true too, or it could all be dream. I don't know. I just don't think it's really ghost.
Hmm.
I mean, it could be cool if it is. I just don't feel like it's actually ghost. I think it's something else. And like I said, my biggest question is if he is seeing, like, from his father's point of view of something that happened, why
Yeah.
does he see Cassandra killing her boyfriend? Because it didn't happen in the office. And I'm trying to remember the reason why I said that it couldn't have happened in the office. Because at first I thought maybe his father covered it up and that it actually did happen in the office. But there was a reason why I said that couldn't have happened. And I don't remember what it was at this point.
Hmm.
Um, Other than, well, yeah, no, that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. There was some reason that I know that I'm not remembering now that it couldn't have happened in the office. So I don't think that what he's seeing is actually what
Hmm.
happened. Like I said, unless that was her explaining to his father what she thought of, because she did say she wanted to kill him and she imagined killing him. So maybe it was
But you
like,
don't think his father had them in the office like that, talking to them?
no, I think he did, but I think the
Oh,
head
okay.
bashing didn't happen in the office.
Oh,
Like the rest
well,
of it
yeah, of
could have.
course.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a reliable source if it didn't actually happen that way. So it makes me
Yeah.
question why he's seeing it, unless that was like literally her saying, "This is what I'm imagining doing," and they're showing it instead of. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I can think of. But I wish I could remember. There was something that happened that I said there's no way it happened in the office for this reason, and I don't remember what it was. But I
Hmm.
don't think that she actually killed him in the office.
Hmm.
Um, because that to me actually might be more interesting if she killed her boyfriend and his father covered it up or
Oh,
something,
yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
or who knows, maybe his father killed him because he was stalker. I don't know. There
Yeah.
is also the thing about the stalker, and I had a theory about that I thought didn't work, that I realized might actually work. It depends on the ages.
Yeah.
um Remember how, and this isn't till the end of the second episode, but remember how the kid, what's the one that was accused, I can't think of what his name was, the one that was accused of the
Yeah.
murder
Hmm.
originally, he says to Lazarus that the reason why he was there is because he was hanging out waiting for some woman to come out of her apartment, that he
Yeah.
liked this
Apartment
woman and
five.
following, yeah. So
Yeah.
I kind of questioned, is it a possibility that that he was the stalker? And I was
Hmm.
thinking, well, it couldn't be because this happened 20 some years ago, but yeah, it could have been. He just was a teenager.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I kind of wondered if that is a possibility. I don't know how much sense it makes yet, but to me, it kind of popped out as, well, stalker. He says he was watching this girl.
Hmm.
It could have, he could have technically had a crush. I mean, it would have had to be an older woman, but he could have had a crush on an older woman at the
Yeah.
apartment. So yeah, but yeah, that was, those are my kind of theories. All right. Well, second episode. So, he's kind of having a meltdown a little bit in the road, freaking out, yelling and telling people to go around them, and them not being super happy.
You know what? I always, when I see shows like this, I remember my driving with the like steering wheel on the right,
Oh, because you were overseas. Yeah.
and how many times I walked to the car and walked to the wrong door because
Oh, you got used to it. Yeah.
yeah, it's weird because it's the same yet the opposite, but you get used to doing it and driving that way because it's technically like how you drive on the left, you just transpose it, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah, you'd have to flip. I wonder that it's not really weird for the actors, because if they act in both, like he's acts in America too, right? So
Hmm.
you might have to kind of go back and forth with his driving. That'd be a
Hmm.
little hard to do.
It's very
But
confusing. I don't know why. Like the very like there's I think there may be 3 or 4 countries that do this.
yeah, I don't know why they
I'm
have these.
unsure why.
Everybody has their own rules. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um. So like I said, he has a break down the road, and he's upset and screaming at people. And it's not really relevant though. He goes back, talks to his sister. Now this is where they talk about the book. and the note where he says that maybe Margot, who was the one that found his father, that maybe she took the half of the suicide or more part of the suicide letter. And because he says, why would somebody like their father, the psychiatrist, leave such a vague note? And he also talks about juniper bush, and she doesn't really want to talk. She's upset. I mean, their father just died. I get she doesn't want to like theorize all these things. Because to her, she's more concerned with the fact that he's gone. And so, yeah, he really doesn't get a whole lot out of her yet at this point. But we do know a little bit more about the book. And I wish I had written down more details of what they said, but I did not. So I am sorry. But we're not going to get that right now. Then, let's see, there is this whole thing with these kids. He sees his ex's son being picked on. So he scares the bully into leaving him alone, which of course the kid doesn't appreciate. But he walks into the garbage can.
No, I thought it was funny because he basically said, well, they wouldn't run after me because that wouldn't be cool for them to run after me.
Yeah. So he's not too concerned. And then he walked into the
garbage can.
That was funny. He's clearly not too cool either. Lazarus is trying to help him. Like I said, I still think Lazarus is the father. But we don't know enough.
One of those things. That seems to be a TV trope.
It does. All right. So then he goes to talk to Seth again. And this is where he asks about the gun being checked for fingerprints and the powder residue on his dad's hands. And he says, that even if they wanted to get this information, that there's other cases that are more important because this wasn't a murder. And, that's kind of, that line to me is a little, I don't want to say lazy writing because it isn't on the writer. It's on the character. Like, for a cop to say that, in my opinion, is a little like, well, how do you know that it's not a suicide unless you actually check, right?
Yeah.
It's a dumb statement. But clearly he buys into Lazarus. Well, I don't know if he buys into him being skeptical or if he buys into his best friend just lost his father and he's asking him to check, so he double checks. It's not super clear which it is. But he does look into it more. We find out later in the episode. So that's at least something. But he does, this isn't where he told, I thought this was where he told him. It's not yet where he tells him, that's later. So, he is going to do what he can, but he doesn't maybe do as much as he'd like. And he does say that he had given him a police file. Apparently, Lazarus never even read. So he goes back and reads the stuff on Cassandra. And he tries to get it to happen again. And this is where he sees Neil, the boyfriend, this time, as well as Cassandra. And they have kind of like a couples counseling meeting. And it's very clear that Neil does not want to be there at all. And so Neil is really not doesn't seem like a very nice guy. He's got temper issues and
not a very good view of Cassandra.
Not a very good view of Cassandra. He's telling the psychiatrist, even though in my opinion, it's not really his story to tell, but he's at least not the way he's doing it. If he was doing it to help her, it'd be a little different. But he's saying how her mother, her mother was unmarried or I don't know if she was unmarried or like a widow or divorced or whatever, but her father wasn't around. And that she was a whore to get money, basically, is what he says.
Yeah.
And he says that she thinks that's normal. Now, I don't know if that's him implying that she's sleeping around or if he just is being an asshole.
Just being insulting.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure, but I kind of feel like that was up to her to tell him, not him,
Yeah.
So it's not his story to tell, but either way, he's very condescending to her, very berating to her. And this is when, as they're sitting, she also offers him alcohol because, everybody knows where the alcohol is. And so they get a drink, and he also yells at her that she's drinking too much. And he's being an ass. But as she's sitting there, suddenly she picks up the statue that's on the table there, and she smashes his head in. And this is where we think that that's how he died. I mean, I'm going to assume it's kind of hard to tell because it's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take a stab and say that that's probably gonna end up the murder weapon. We don't know yet 100%, but it's probably the murder weapon.
Yeah.
But I am guessing that it really was her that killed him. I mean, it could turn out that it wasn't, but I'm gonna guess that it was because until they tell me otherwise, that's
what we got.
Yeah, well, that's what makes sense because, like I said,
Yeah.
is it possible his father, knew about it, covered something up? I don't know, but it only really makes sense if she did it. But I do think that that's an interesting twist, though, that the person they think murdered her is actually her victim. But I also question, like, the fact that she killed him. If she killed him, did she have a reason? Like, if he seems to be this guy with an anger issue, he could have, and we don't know because it didn't show anything, but I mean, like, what if he beat her or he attacked her, or maybe it turns out he was her stalker for some strange, odd reason. I don't know, but he sees this happening, and like I said, I don't think it happened in the office, so it makes me question the validity of the whole vision, of whether it, like, how it happened. I don't know. What do you think? Does that bother you that, like, it isn't what actually happened that he saw?
Not really. I mean, maybe it is a jarble of, like, maybe kind of a. I keep thinking a story walking thing with maybe like a visualization, like it's showing instead of telling.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like psychologically, this is what's happening, as opposed to just saying it's happening. Like the rage she has inside, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and that's where I wish with the show with the, like, this, that they would clarify that. And I guess it depends on the show. Like, sometimes maybe you don't want them to clarify it because you want it to be more of a mystery. But that to me is something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I'm hoping that it's going to end up, there's a reason that it doesn't make sense and not just like a, weird MacGuffin or story point or whatever. But did you ever watch, I don't think you watched it. I had mentioned it to you, but if you didn't, you should watch that Crow Girl.
Oh yeah.
I think you would like it. I had covered it because I had talked to the actress on it. But the one thing that I find really interesting about that show is it's a show that does not explain things, but not in a way like it's written bad, don't explain things, meaning like it doesn't. I think we're used to, especially with American television, and that's why I'm saying, like, maybe we really don't want things confirmed. I feel like American television, they more tell you things and, like, so if you're right or not to some extent, where that show really does not explain anything until like the last bit. So you're really on your own to figure it out, but in a good way. And then when it starts to come together, it's kind of cool. So it's different types of storytelling, but that one is also based on a book. But it's a good show. I think you'd like it. It's a good mystery. So back to, okay. So he is going back to talk to his sister again. I think this is where oh no, it isn't. First he's going to look at his murder board. I know it's not a murder board, but it's kind of a murder board. It is kind of a murder board. Right? I'm like, wait, she is dead. So okay, it is a murder board.
Yeah, it's a murder board.
He's got all the
doesn't have a red string, but it's a murder board.
Yeah, but is he staying with his sister though? Because the reason why I thought he was going to talk to his sister is he walks into her house, or what I'm assuming is her house.
I thought he was staying with her.
He might be.
His dad was dead, because her dad passed away.
Yeah, no, I just was curious because it does look like it is her house, but yeah. He's putting up a murder board. And she is doing a reading. So she is.
So she's kind of like a psychic too?
I guess she reads tarot cards. And that was my question. I feel like it's a setup for her being somebody that's going to help him, because if anybody's going to believe him 100% that he's seeing ghosts, it's going to be her, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I was hoping they'd have a little bit more. I like this scene because I thought it was funny.
It was funny. And he's like, no, you should worry about the whatever it is, the card.
Yeah, the 9 of spades or whatever she got.
Yeah, and she's like, should I be worried? She's like, no. Well, So yeah, she was a little not forthcoming there with that,
Yeah.
with her session there. I mean, look, I do hope in a way they do that, because so far the sister really has served not much of a purpose. Um,
Hopefully
other
she
than
has hopefully she has magical witchy powers. I'd be so excited.
maybe. But no, I mean, other than being somebody who receives the exposition from him, she really hasn't
Yeah.
had a whole lot to do yet.
Yeah.
So I hope that they have something to do with that. Now, I meant to look up, who is this guy, because he looks so familiar and it's bugging me, and I can't figure out who it is, and I feel like I know who it is. Do you remember what his name was? Because I'm never going to find it if I don't know what the character's name was, because they don't have his picture on Internet Movie Database.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they only have so much of the main cast, so I'm guessing that I'm never going to find it unless I can remember what his name is. Well, at least not on the main page. I guess it could, once you click on it, have it.
Yeah, I can't remember it,
I
unfortunately.
don't know. Yeah, I just was curious because he really looks like somebody from something I've watched recently, but I almost feel like from somebody I've talked to, maybe. He looks so familiar, and it's going to bug me. I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, I don't know. He looks like somebody. I just envision like this quiet character that I can't figure out who it is. But anyway, so Laz comes back to this guy's place because he remembers that he said about how after they bought the place that he stored some of Cassandra's stuff in the attic. So he comes. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped something. There was something with his sister. He was asking her about the statue that he saw Cassandra hit Neil with. And she said they're on a honeymoon, but she don't know where it is. That was,
which is important in this scene.
It is. That's why I was like, wait a second.
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to figure out when that scene.
Yeah, no, that's what leads him to this guy. He's like, where is the statue? Maybe it's in the attic, this guy's attic. So yeah. So this guy, I don't know. I for some reason you're supposed to find it funny, so I shouldn't say for some reason. But I found this scene pretty funny because this guy is like looking at Lazarus like he's nuts. I don't want to let you into my house. But it seemed I don't know. To me, this isn't really a story that someone would necessarily make up, because he came in before and he sounded nuts because he didn't know that the girl was dead. I mean, he shouldn't have sounded nuts at that point because he had no reason to know she was dead. He was just asking about her, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, she's been dead." And he knows this woman did live there, and the guy explained, my father died, she was his so I feel like it was a legitimate reason that maybe he should have been a little less suspicious. But his idea of, I'm going to take your keys and your wallet and all this, so you can't steal anything from my house. Like, if he was going to steal something from him, I just feel like this was probably not the smartest way to go about it,
I mean, it could have been somebody. It could have been somebody trying to pull a fast one on him too, like pretending to be Cassandra. As well.
What do you mean?
No, I mean, just to this guy. I mean, it could have been like, oh, she was dead, but maybe somebody was impersonating her.
Oh yeah, you're right. They could never even thought of that possibility, which you would think would be a possibility. They never thought of that. I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to con somebody into stealing something from their apartment, there's a lot easier ways to do it than this. I would say that maybe he seems a little. Whoa! What the heck? I bumped something. Sorry about that. I had up Internet Movie Database. I bumped a little ad and it started talking.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're trying to con somebody, there's a lot easier ways to do it, and it seems like a lot of work for nothing. Let's put it that way. Sorry, I want to write down I don't know why when I do this, for some reason, the talking, I think because I'm talking loud, or at least I feel like I'm talking loud, it starts to hurt my head sometimes. And that's why I'm like in the middle and I'm always like, I need Excedrin. I don't normally take it that often. It's just this brings it on to, I feel like I need to get a headache. All right. So he wants to go up into his apartment. I don't know if it's a house or an apartment. I think it's an apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a condo or something like that. Yeah.
I just noticed it says floor. It's got to be an apartment. And the steps make it look like it. So yeah, he gives him his ID and his car keys, and he lets him in. They go into the. Also, my other question is, wouldn't it have been easier for him just to bring him the box if he didn't want him in his apartment? Like, why not just say, here's her stuff, take it. Like, he didn't want it, right? It was all junk he threw in the attic.
But they had to go to the creepy attic so they could find the body.
Right. It was a little, it was a little convoluted to get them there. You know what I mean? Like, it was totally for the plot.
This is a very unorganized attic.
It is. And he's like,
Just
oh, I
look
wanted to turn
around.
this into my man cave or whatever to play PlayStation or whatever he says. I forget exactly what he said. Something about that. And then he talks about the previous owner blocking off the wall. And I mean, it's like, it's his own fault he said that. And then Lazarus is like, wait, what? She blocked it off. There might be something important there. Smash. Now, look, at this point, I would be kicking the guy out and thinking there's something wrong because he immediately takes a sledgehammer to his wall. But I did enjoy the way this scene went because he's doing this and the guy's like, what are you doing? And then he's like, wait, you got to see this. And the guy like immediately runs over and looks in the hole. I'm like, oh no. So I like that.
Exactly. What's that smell?
Yeah, what's that smell? I did skip the one part though. Before they went to the attic, he saw the statue in the guy's I don't remember if it was his foyer or his
it's his foyer, yeah.
He saw the statue and I kept thinking, like, why doesn't he just say, I'll buy the statue off of you? Like, he's got money, right? Why didn't he just offer
because
to
his
buy
partner likes it.
Yeah, he's like, my girlfriend or my wife or whatever loves
Yeah.
it. He didn't even offer it. Like, the guy acted like he thought
It's
he
beyond price.
Well, no, he acted like he thought he was going to steal it again because he's like, oh, next she'll be saying it's my TV. Like, he should have just said, I'll buy it off you. Would have saved a lot of headache. But anyway, they look in the hole and there are all these air fresheners. I was trying to see if I could read what it says. I feel like there's some kind of joke on the air fresheners, but I don't know what it is because I can't read it. But they're like shaped like leaves. But yeah, as soon as you see the air fresheners, you know there's a body back there. I would also. There's one thing that bothers me about this, and I'm guessing it's just they wanted it to look cool, but. And like it was like more a prop department thing, but that body looks mummified. I don't understand why. I mean, I know it's been like 20 years or whatever, but yeah, but it looks mummified, doesn't it? At least to me, it does.
Yeah.
So,
how did he know to break that wall down?
Because he said they blocked off the wall. He knew that the girl blocked it off, and he just was like, "Why?" It wasn't that he knew; it was just like she did something strange. I got to find out why. And then
so I'm just going to damage your property, okay?
Yeah, no reason. I'm just going to break a hole in your wall. I don't know. I just loved how after he's like, "You got to see this," and the guy's just like, "Okay," it looks
great. Now my property value has gone down.
And then he's like, "Oh, there is something in there." Yeah, now he's gotta break it down. But I don't know. I think it looks mummified. But he sees the necklace.
Yeah, it also came to the like hole, like in that spooky like jump scare way.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I mean, hey, it makes it cool, right? But he sees the necklace and he knows from what he saw before. And this is why I think what he's seeing has to be real in some way, because like, how did he see that necklace, right? And that's where I'm saying, like, with my theory, like, is it possible that when he's looking at these case files or at the police file that his friend gave him, like, there could have been a picture of that necklace in there, and that's or the picture of the guy wearing the necklace, and that's how he connected it, because he has to have seen it, whether he's seen it on a ghost or he's seen it on a picture. He has to actually get the information to be able to tell us the information. So yeah, like you could argue that means he really saw the ghost, or you could argue he got it from somebody else. But that's how he knows it's Neil. And he's like, okay, she killed Neil. She buried him in the wall. And she killed him with that
take his necklace off.
Yeah, she killed him with the statue, which now that guy owns. And he must have been like, yeah. And it's like,
maybe the guy's going to be like, you can take it now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Go ahead,
like,
take it.
There they are taking the body out of the attic.
Well, I mean, plus you got a new room. At least the room's bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Now, yeah, he wanted to expand, right? Now I can. I just wanted to
always what you wish for.
It is. I wanted to mention this. I meant to mention it last night to Karen too, and I forgot. Do you recognize that building? That's the building from Talamasca.
Oh, it is. Oh my God, the Talamasca lives here. He's part of the
no, because there's the reason why I don't know for sure that it was in the show, but it's in the key art. There's like this key art poster of this building. And
Do you
I
have a
remember
picture
we
of
were
it?
talking about it. We were saying how cool the building was. So it must have been in the show too. I'm gonna have to go back and look for
Yeah,
those.
I didn't know if you had the key art or anything like that you could show.
I do. Let me see. I can do that. Let me
That's pretty
find it.
crazy. It'd be like Lazarus
Yeah,
on floor
it'll
3,
take me
Talamasca on floor 5.
right. It would take me too long to try to find the screen capture, but I can probably find the key
Maybe
art.
it's
Let me
a popular building to
Yeah, well,
film
the
in.
question is, did they really film in front of it, or is it just stock footage? Because it might just be
Well,
a
it
lot of
could be.
well, no, it's just because a lot of times what I don't think I don't know, maybe people do realize, but I don't know if people realize is when here, wait, I'm opening it. When
Mhm.
they do shows, a lot of times they either go shoot stock footage or they pay for stock footage.
Mhm.
Because a
Yeah.
lot of times, like in screeners, you'll see like Getty images or like whatever other
Oh,
branding.
you'll
Like,
see like a watermark on it?
yeah, because they haven't
Yeah.
decided if they're using it and they pay for it, and then then they take
Then
it
they
off.
use it, yeah.
So a lot of times they're just using somebody else's footage. It's like not even
Mhm.
theirs.
Mhm.
So there's that. But
But
wait, I
still, it
found
must be a popular they must look at this building and go, "This is cool looking."
it. It is. There's the picture right there.
Oh, it
See?
is.
Is that not cool? If
Yeah,
I
it's the
look, if we
windows. It must
hadn't
supposed
been
to be the windows.
yeah, and if we hadn't have been covering both within a span of a couple days, I probably wouldn't have noticed. But
Yeah.
as I
That's
was going
cool.
through the pictures, I'm like, that's totally that building. It is a
Yeah.
cool building though.
Mm.
I kind of had wondered if like maybe it was they designed it or something, but it's clearly a real building
Yeah. I wonder
if
where it
they
is.
yeah, I probably in the UK, I'm guessing, but I don't know. Yeah,
But it's
anyway,
probably because of its distinctive windows.
yeah, that's what makes it cool. It is funny though because this could kind of connect to the other case a little bit.
Mhm.
Spies and everything else.
Ghosts, witches,
Yeah, ghosts.
werewolves, vampires.
Yeah, that's right. There's ghosts in that story,
Yeah.
right? All right. So this is that police chief or whatever she was again that was his father's friend
Mhm.
talking to him and she's like, you got to tell me how you found that, you got to give me information here later. Because I mean he's got to come up with something how he had a reason to go to this place. I mean, I think he could have told them the truth minus the I see dead people part, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because he was investigating the case and
Mhm.
and like, his logic of another girl was murdered a year later or whatever, like I could
Mhm.
buy that, but I don't know that he necessarily should have told his friend
Or
about seeing her.
he could have been following up on the address, went to the address, wanted to look around, went to the attic, smelled something off.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
I,
like,
I mean,
"Ugh."
look, I'm just saying that like what he did so far to me, if he
Yeah.
if what we've been giving information of, it isn't that bizarre or out of left field. Like he shouldn't have been doing it and he shouldn't have been investigating and his friends should not have given him the police file maybe.
Yeah.
But like the rest of it I could buy and I think he could have told her. But I don't know that you should be telling your cop friends that you're seeing ghosts. That's probably not the smartest move, right? But he
I don't
does
know, depends on your boss.
yeah, well, he does end up telling his best friend cop here it because he's like, get in the car. Like he's like, you got to tell me how the hell this happened. Get in the car. He also doesn't want look. He don't want to get in trouble for giving him evidence either. Like he gave him that file. So I get it. His friend's like, you're gonna tell me now what's going on, and yeah, I mean, he tell the two of them go in the bar again with this creepy red lighting. And there's some comments again about that he likes his sister, which is why he's still talking to him apparently.
Mhm.
Neil likes, I mean, Laz's sister. But so yeah, he tells him that he is seeing dead people and that he saw this conversation and yeah, kind of explains what happened. And let's see. He tells him about seeing Cassandra, seeing his dad, seeing Cassandra with Neil. Seth, unsurprisingly, doesn't believe him, right? So he has him come back to his father's office and they like sit on the couches and he tries to recreate it and have it happen again, which I thought was funny. And I appreciate that he's a good friend and he's giving him the benefit of the doubt. But like I was just waiting, like, why isn't his friend saying, dude, you lost your father, it's making you see things. It's
Maybe
okay.
have a little bit of a break. A
You
little
need, yeah,
break.
a psychic break,
break.
break with reality.
Yeah.
But he just look. I appreciate he's his friend. He gives him the benefit of the doubt. He listens to him. He doesn't do that. But it's like, is there anybody watching this show who really thought he was going to see it with the guy laying there? Did you? I mean, I definitely thought there's no way this will show up now, right? Gonna wait until he walks out, which is exactly what happened.
Yes.
So I saw that coming, from obviously, but yeah, we knew it was coming, and she was gonna show herself again, probably, or somebody would. So when he goes to the bathroom, because as you do,
yes, of
he
course.
sees his father again, and I love this. I talked about this last night, and I'll say it again because I enjoy this. If he's not seeing ghosts, like, we don't really know if he's seeing ghosts. If he's not seeing ghosts, his father is psychoanalyzing him, but it's actually himself psychoanalyzing him as his father,
Yes.
which I think is just a really interesting juxtaposition. So it kind of
It's very Freudian.
Yes, which is why it kind of makes me hope it's not real. But I
Yeah.
love where Bill Nye, and I like Bill Nye a lot, and he's like, well, let's do this. Let's figure it out. He looks at it from a psychiatrist's point of view. And he's like, that I'm dead and I'm not coming back. Like, he does say that, but this is where he says, let me see, I have it written here exactly what he said. He does try to call his friend, by the way, to tell him that he's there. Like, that would actually work. But this is where he says about how they're talking to him as his father. And he says that they're living in their present. And I did think that idea, though, was kind of interesting, because maybe that's just the whole explanation you need to make it not be paranormal. Like, he's saying, no, you're not seeing ghosts, you're seeing an event that happened in the past. So I don't know, I don't quite know what that means, but I thought it was an interesting take on the way it was happening. And that's why I said, to me, I just want to know why he's seeing these events from his father's point of view, but yet they're clearly not the exact way the events happened.
Or the same exact place.
Yeah. Or not the same place. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But also, why are they seeing it? Like, is that what it is, that it's from his point of view? Because they do see him as his father. And that's what I said earlier. Like, I honestly, for most of the show, thought they should show his father as a young man because he must have looked like him.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he sees his sister, that theory went out the window. And I knew it had to be something else. But I did really like, I don't know, this scene was very weird and twisted, and I liked it. And I will say again, I really like this office. Like, it's an awesome set, It's Art Deco. It's just, and it's also very, very like rich looking. You can tell it's an expensive office. I mean, I know he's a psychiatrist, but he clearly, he's making the money. Is this supposed to take place in England? I don't know why I was thinking it was taking place in New York, but I think I'm just thinking of
Talamasca.
Yeah, for some reason, because when they showed the scene at the beginning, even though it was clearly not like a real photo of the city, it looked kind of like a map painting. It looked like more like London.
Does it say where it's taking place, like in the Wikipedia synopsis?
I don't know. Let me look really quick.
I mean, it has like a tiny paragraph.
It probably does, but it might say where it is. Let's
or
see.
on IMDb, sometimes they say where they've shot it, but that doesn't mean that it's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It says the cast, production. Well, it's Amazon MGM. We know that. It does say who produced it. That's not helping. Filming got underway in Manchester, so it's definitely in the UK. It's been filmed, but where it's supposed to take place, I'm going to guess probably is supposed to take place there, but it doesn't actually say it. But it makes sense. Look, if that building was in Talamasca and it was taking place in the UK in Talamasca, it's probably the same thing.
You could reason it that way.
Where's Manchester? Is Manchester? Manchester's in England?
England?
Okay, I thought so. I wasn't absolutely sure. As I've told you before, my history and my geography are not great. So I know London's in England, no. But
That's where the
Yeah,
rave scene was in the 80s, and Britain was in Manchester.
no, I recognize Manchester, but the only thing when I hear Manchester, I think of Manchester United because I've heard people talk about
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
But I didn't know for sure if it was England or what. I thought it was, but I wasn't 100%.
Oh yeah.
100% sure. But yeah, I do think it's interesting though that this show is written by Coben, but it's not based on a book because
Mhm.
like as much as I say I don't think this is sci-fi because he hasn't, as far as I know, written sci-fi. Because like if
Yeah.
you saw Shelter, right? Did you see Shelter?
Seen what?
Shelter. It was
No,
on Amazon as well.
I
Watch
haven't
it.
seen
You'll
it.
like it a lot. Trust me, you'll
Okay.
like it a lot. It's kind of got the same thing where like there's things that kind of make you think they're paranormal, but are they paranormal
Mhm.
type of thing going
Kind of
on?
ambiguous.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I like that, but it makes me think it's not. But then I'm also thinking about the fact that if he's writing this as a series and it wasn't a book, that isn't necessarily accurate because he could have, because he's writing a TV series, completely, took a different take. He could have done it differently. So I mean, maybe it is really ghosts. I'm
Yeah.
just, personally don't think it is, but that doesn't mean I'm right. I have no clue. And at this time, I have not watched ahead because I have been so busy. So I've seen what you've seen. So I
Mhm.
can't even. I'm not like trying to be cagey and not saying. I honestly don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm interested to find out. But do watch, for anybody listening, if you haven't seen Shelter, watch it. It is so good. It's really good. I
What
had
what what else have you seen?
I've seen Safe, which was the one with Michael C. Hall. Trying to think
Mhm.
of the names of them. Um
Are these all on Prime, or are they on other?
no, Shelter. Wait, yeah, Shelter I believe was Prime, I think.
Okay.
I mean, here, you know what? I can find really easily, probably by clicking on Harlan Coben inside this article.
Yeah, probably.
It should tell me the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shelter was based on one of his characters from one of his books. It's like a series because they were
Mhm.
going to maybe renew it, but they I think it was Mickey. I want to say it was Mickey Bolitar, but I'm not 100% sure. It was a series, so they could have done it. Looking at his book titles, Stay Close was one of them, The Stranger, and Fool Me Once. Yeah, those are the ones I'm noticing right away that I recognize the title that I've seen. Stay Close. I said that. The Stranger. Missing You. I think Missing You might have been one. Either way, they're all the ones that I've seen are all really good. Some of them are Netflix, some of them are Prime. Like I said, I have not watched the dub ones. Like I started one and then for whatever reason I never finished it. Um, I don't watch a lot of dubbed
Are
shows.
are you
I probably
saying
watch more
Dove, like DOVE?
dubbed. Like they
Oh,
weren't American.
dubbed.
Yeah, dubbed.
Okay. I didn't know
I
there was a
don't.
channel called Dove because there's so many
No,
things.
no, dubbed. They're dubbed on Netflix.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of stuff like that, and I probably should. I'm not a subtitle person, so it has to at
Mm.
least be dubbed because I like subtitles when I need them, but I'm the
Yeah.
kind of person who like I can't quit looking at them and then I don't pay attention to the show, so I don't use them
Mm.
all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I like it
I
because
think
it's just both sides of my brain.
no, it yeah, it helps it. I kind of go back and forth. Like I'll put it on when I need it, and then I'll take
Yeah.
it off. And I'll rewind and put it on. But I like to be able to have it. But anyway, my point with that is I shouldn't use that as a deterrent from watching things because I mean I love Dark,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
know you haven't seen.
Well, I
So
only
I'm not.
saw season one.
Yeah,
I
I've
didn't see
seen
the
up
other
to.
two
I told you
seasons.
I've seen up to the series finale and never finished it because I'm an idiot. But it's like I got to
Oh,
rewatch the
nice.
whole thing. Well, I got to rewatch the whole thing to watch it because there's no way I can
Yeah.
remember what happened. So I haven't.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, my point is at least the ones that I've seen, they're really good. Um, I it makes me kind of want to read his books if I'm honest, but and I've said this to you before, I do not read the things I watch. Like I love sci-fi. I don't like reading sci-fi. I love
Mhm.
mysteries, but I wouldn't read mysteries. Like if I read something, it's going to be like a paranormal romance, which is not
Yeah.
necessarily what I watch. So I don't know that I'd enjoy his book. It's not that I don't want to read it because I kind of do because I want like the stories, but I just don't think I think if I started one, I'd never finish it just because I don't read that kind of books. But his TV shows have been very good, the miniseries. And they have good casts too. And we have gotten way off topic. Sorry about that. All
It's
right.
not
So
really. It's kind of on topic,
no, I
but
mean it's on
go for it.
topic. I just meant we're veering that way. How's that? Um, And we should, since I don't know, I never remember to advertise in between. But guys, please, if you're watching, make sure that you subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision, like the video, hype it if you can. And I know sometimes when you're watching this gets watched on our sister channel, NDB Media, which please follow them as well. They're great. We want them to get viewers too. But we do sometimes stream stuff that isn't necessarily across all of the channels. So make sure that you follow Sci-Fi Vision and check out all our interviews and everything. And don't forget that tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern, we have our Halloween show for trivia. I still got to figure out my costume yet, but we'll have fun with that tomorrow night.
Well, Only Murders in the Building finale, and it was amazing the amount of shows that actually know this channel.
Yeah, I know you said that. I'm so surprised.
And when I said trivia, the ones that one of the people that was covering it, I think it's DJ One and well, definitely Scene Invaders, which I really like. I was so happy they knew who we were. But both of those channels expressed interest in coming to the trivia.
Okay, cool.
Because the one channel does a bunch of like trivia at the end, like each episode they just have a bunch of questions, which I thought was cool because no other channel is doing that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. We'll have to. Yeah, I've said before I would like to. I just have been super busy lately, but I would like to start having like a fairly regular trivia or party, night once a month or something. But I've just been I think I said this to you when we were off the show. I think part of the problem is I got so into doing these live streams because I love them and I enjoy them. And I went too far and I like made myself burn out because we were doing like every night. And because we were doing, I was doing like what, 6 a week or something.
Too much Sandman, too much novelist.
Yeah. And it was too much and I tired myself out. And then I like quit too much. And now I'm like, I miss it. So I need to find a balance somewhere in the middle. So yeah, I need to do them more, but not quite.
Were we gonna do the like questions that have the little buttons, like with a picture, or just wing it?
What do you mean? Oh, I was gonna try to put some of them in the PowerPoint like I did before.
Okay, all right.
Assuming that I have time to, I'm gonna try really hard. Like I said, I do have 5 interviews tomorrow, so it's going to be a long day, but I should at least be able to put some in there if you send me some questions. And anybody who wants to join us for trivia, you can send in your questions too. If you send them to me or Scarlet, we'll put them in there and ask. We're going to do, for people who are trying to find out what exactly, like, I'm not sure which trivia we're going to do. We hadn't really discussed it. We're going to definitely do Halloween-based horror trivia, I guess, right? Like horror and those kind of things.
Sure.
But yeah, monsters.
Trivia about Halloween itself.
Yeah, stuff that's based on that kind of thing. We'll aim for, but
like Universal. I would do like Universal monsters and Gothic literature and
yeah, we can do all kinds of things. But
TV shows.
I do think what I'd like to try to do though, which is what we did, and I said I think this was when I did it for I want to say it was for your birthday when I did. I can't remember for sure, but one of them, one of the ones we did, like some of them were easy and some of them were not, because I know that some of the other ones, like if they're like, I want to kind of try to do a variety so everybody can try to answer some of the stuff.
Or we could do an easy round and a medium round and a hard round.
We could do that too. We could do that. Yeah. We'll have to get some questions together, but we'll try to get as much as we can on the screen. If we run out of ones like that, I have time to put them in PowerPoint. We'll still just read them. And but you can always, if you guys miss it live, you can always come back and listen to the trivia after. But please let us know if you enjoy the games. It seems like we get a lot of people on trivia night. If you guys like it, let us know. Tell us what subjects you'd like us to do, because I would really love to, like, once a month, do that, something like that. So it was fun. But yeah, we're going to do it for Halloween and see how it goes. And we'll have Karen and AJ here too. So lots of fun. All right. So back to our regularly scheduled discussion.
See, that was
right. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. All right. So back to this. He doesn't have to tell Seth he's seeing his father, because he hears him yelling to his father, like asking him questions. And he's like, what's going on? It's like, dude, he told you he heard ghosts. You hear him talking to his father. What do you really think is going on, right?
Ghosts.
Ghosts. Exactly. Ghosts.
But very fickle ones that disappear when I step in the room.
Of course, yeah. They never are there when you want people to see them, right? It's like aliens and
Yeah.
stuff. They're not going to hang around to be caught on camera. Uh,
Yeah.
sorry. So anyway, he's kind of, I mean, Laz is kind of like, fuck it, I want to go for a drink. I mean, that's pretty much what the end of the scene is. Like, he doesn't want to talk about it. He's just like, let's go for a drink. So he's
He
given
gets a
up.
lot of drinks.
He gets, yeah, this guy drinks a lot. No, yeah, he's gonna go to the bar with him and not talk about it right now. He does ask his father though who killed him, and he said he doesn't know because earlier Seth had asked him about that, so he didn't really get any answers from his father. Which again, if he isn't really talking to his father, makes sense in a way too, because he can't get an answer to something he doesn't have. Just pointing it out. Yeah, I don't know. I may be putting too much into that theory. It's just like, it's happened before in shows. More with his sister there. Again, I don't think there was anything really
Some cooking.
important. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot. This might have been where they talked about the book, maybe, or where they talked
Oh yeah, and
about.
she has these crazy pants. I remember the pants more than anything.
You remember the pants? That's so funny. I like that house though. I want to see more of it. Like, look at the bay. It looks like, I think it's a bay window. Maybe I can't tell.
Oh
But it looks
yeah, this house is great.
humongous kitchen though. Like, that place has got to be a lot. Like, it's a huge kitchen, huge ass kitchen. But yeah, his sister. And then this is where Seth is talking into his boss again, and he says, what does he said to him? To her. He says, if it ends up that the dead body is Neil, to check the statue as the murder weapon. Because he knows she has no reason to check the statue as a murder weapon. I mean, I think the only reason they like confiscated it probably is because I'm guessing is because of the connection that it had to that Lazarus put on it, I guess, saying, oh, it was my father's or whatever, because otherwise they would have had no reason to even take it. But yeah, he's like, check it out if this happens. So he's not giving her an explanation. He's just saying this might
So
be
did
the case.
Cassandra take it out of the office?
Yeah, and that was kind of my other question is she must have stolen it. I mean, whether she stole it because it was the murder weapon and she was trying to hide it, I don't know, but I guess she stole it. I really wish that I could remember what it was that made me think it couldn't have happened in the office, because I know when I was watching this, I did for a while think, is it possible that it really happened in the office and that he covered it up? But there was something that happened between that and the end of the episode that I was like, there's no way that happened. That was in the office. And I just don't remember what it was. I did not rewatch it this week.
Well, it makes more sense if it happened in her apartment, or else they're dragging the body all the way across the city.
Well, there's that too. Yeah, she's like a small woman. I don't think she drives. That's a good point. But then again, if
it's just awkward.
It is. But then again, if it was him and he did cover it up, then maybe he could have dragged. But that's what also made me wonder, like, is it possible that the buildings are close together? And that's why I question about the other guy. Is it possible he could be the stalker, or am I missing something? I don't know. I really feel like I need to rewatch this episode for some of these clues. So I don't remember. Was there a reason he was laying there listening to the music? I don't remember if there was a reason, but he was laying on the bed listening to something.
Probably to make the voices in his head go away.
Yeah, maybe. He should try some Klonopin or whatever it's called, right?
This is distraction. Oh yeah, a lot of that. A bottle of that.
Yeah, try that. It might work.
It's interesting to have this like rope tied around the side of this thing.
I know. I was just going to say, is that something that's really in that area, or is that supposed to be a sculpture? Like, what is it? It kind of looks like what you use to like tie a bike down.
Yeah, but there's no bike.
There's no bike, right? But I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe they attach a bike to it. I don't know. It's weird. It could just be a weird sculpture, but it's there. This is where he's following, because he keeps remembering the kid that was arrested originally for his sister's murder. So he does go into his building, breaks in basically, and he sees this stuffed dog, which he remembers as being his sister's, and he just like takes it. And it's like, if there is anything there, you're putting your hand all over this evidence, but okay. But no, he
Yeah.
just grabs it. I mean, granted, it was 27 years ago, so I don't think there's any evidence. But the guy comes home and he's really bad at running away. Like he trips and falls, knocks the bird. Thankfully, the bird cage he knocked over was empty, I think, because he like
Yeah.
knocked.
Devoid of
Um,
birds.
but this guy, instead of yelling at him for breaking in his house or calling the cops or whatever, he's like, "Do you want a lemonade?" Because he knows kind of why he's there. And he explains to him, people have blamed me for this murder all these years, and they still treat me different. They still come to me when something bad happens. Like he said, he didn't move away because he thought it would make him look guilty. But like I said, after so many years, I think he probably could have moved away. So I don't know that I totally buy that. But
Mhm.
he says that on the night, the reason why he saw him there, like when they're at the prom or whatever, was that on that night, Sutton was looking for their grandparents' dog, and he saw her and he helped her look for the dog, and they found it, and that to say thank you, she gave him that stuffed dog, so that's why he
Mhm.
had it. So that's if that's true, that's obviously a legitimate reason. I thought maybe he had a crush on her or something. I thought he was going to say, and that she gave it to him, she liked him or whatever. But
Mhm.
um, it seems to be more innocent. And this is where he asked why he was hanging out around though, and he said that there was some like a woman in that or a girl in that apartment that he liked, and that he didn't. He was just hanging out, and that's why I kind of got a stalker vibe from there. But I don't know. But he does say that he saw Sutton leave with her boyfriend Billy McIntyre, got in his car and left. That was what he saw. He saw last. And when he says this, Laz does kind of not seem to believe. I mean, he's giving him all this information voluntarily, and he's like, "Well, you just left. I thought you were waiting for some girl." Um, and then that's when he gets mad, and he's like, "I think you should leave." But I kind of have to wonder, like, this information has to be information he gave to the cops, right? Like
Mhm.
20 years ago, whatever.
What, the girl in apartment 5?
Yeah, but my question is, why wouldn't the police at some point have told the family what information they got? Like, I know they don't tell everything about a case, but when they find
Mhm.
something like that with a dead kid, I just think that he would have known. I question that he didn't know this, but then again, maybe his father knew it and he didn't. You
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily tell a kid. I don't know. I just wondered and kind of questioned that he didn't know it, um, but yeah, he saw her arguing with her boyfriend Billy, and I personally think that that's who was at her grave that Laz saw,
Mhm.
because that to me makes the most sense. So, but I could be wrong. We'll find out probably soon. But somebody's been, kind of follow. Well, I don't know if he was following him. They gave the impression, I think, that he was following him, but it's possible, like if he was her boyfriend, he just went to visit her grave, because
Yeah.
people do that. So
Yeah.
it could be that simple. Um, but yeah, he kind of pisses the guy off a little bit when he sort of gets accusory, which I don't blame him because he was being really forthcoming and he didn't have to be. Um, so yeah, because I thought it was kind of nice and cathartic. They were talking, and then he's like, starts getting a little, and he's like, "You should leave." So that didn't last. So yeah, then he starts back. He's talking to I already forgot his name, Seth. Um, Again, he asks him about Billy McIntyre and like where he's at and everything, and um, he's trying to find out where he's at because he's asking for his number, and he thinks that he's suspicious. And then the one thing we do see, I didn't get a picture, but I thought I did. Seth looks at a paper that is the gunshot residue results. Now, I would say the look he gave or that they cut away on makes me think maybe he didn't shoot himself. But with a show like this, that may not be the case, and they just cut the episode to make it look like that, because we did not hear what he said, and you could not read the screen. At least I couldn't, and because I could
Mm.
not get a high quality um, download of this episode, I couldn't tell. Yeah, so these are all like really not high def at all, so I couldn't read it. But yeah, I'm curious what those results showed. So I guess we'll find that out hopefully soon enough. Um, and yeah, he's trying to get more information out of him, obviously, and we won't know until that happens. And then back at the office again, because he keeps going back to this office. I guess he wants to see the ghosts. He sees his sister before she died, and this is where she says, "Hey, Dad," and that's where I said, "Yeah, it definitely is not just he looks like his father, because there's no way his sister thinks it's his father, unless it was his point of view or whatever." But I don't know. Did you expect to see her? I guess I hadn't really thought about it, but Karen and AJ were not very surprised to see her pop up. I don't know. I didn't expect it for whatever reason. Did you?
No, I didn't expect it either.
I mean, I thought that there was a chance, depending how many episodes this show was, is that there might be like sort of a weekly a point where like weekly he's got to solve different murders, but there isn't enough episodes. So I guess it kind of makes sense. But I mean, his father did say he'd find, he'd see different victims or dead people. I think he said murder victims. Didn't he? Might have said dead people, but I think he said murdered people.
No, I see dead people.
Dead people, yeah. Again,
but they see his father.
Yeah, but they see his father again. If he is seeing things or like figuring out things that happened or whatever, like maybe he really already knows the answer to her who killed her. I guess in my theory, the way it's going, like it would have to be that maybe he actually knows somewhere deep down who killed her and is working it out in his head. I don't know. I forget who it was. I think it was AJ. It was either Karen or AJ. I think it was AJ. Thinks that Lazarus killed his sister. What do you think about that? That was kind of an interesting take. I had not come upon at all. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It could be possibility. I don't know that I think that's the case, but I could see how you could see that. It never occurred to me when I was watching it. But especially if I think that he's just reading stuff and knows what's going on, it makes sense even with my theory. But I'd like to think that he's not, but yeah, I could see it. I don't know.
They killed his sister as his dad.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's why I'm saying like, but if my theory is correct, it wouldn't matter. It could just be like him going back over what happened. But
yeah,
I kind of
little story walking.
Yeah, but I kind of like the idea that he could have killed her or that he could have killed his father. I just don't know that I think that's what happened, but I think it's a very interesting theory. And I'm curious to see how it goes, but I don't know. I've talked more about my theories. Anything else that you can add that you are thinking after these episodes?
Oh, I don't know. I just feel like I want to watch the next one and see what happens.
Yeah,
so that's the point of the thing, to make you interested in watching the next one.
Unfortunately, I can't do it tonight because otherwise I'd be going to do it now, but I'm not going to have time. I have more stuff I got to watch. But yeah, I want to see it too. I really like the show. Like I said, after the second one, I was completely invested. It just took me a little bit. And look, maybe if they had made like a double episode, it would have worked. But then it would have been so long, though. I mean, they dropped them all at once, so you can't complain and be like, "Well, we only got to see 1 week, and we had to wait clear till the second week to find." I mean, it was there. It's not like you couldn't watch it. I just. It makes me like when I think of like I watch a show like this, it just makes me wonder if there are a lot of people that didn't finish it or that didn't like it and said they didn't like it because they didn't get far enough. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that the way TV, and that's why I also want to mention this is completely irrelevant to this, but if you have not, wait, I want to get the exact name of the thing because I don't want to say the wrong name. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I talked to this actor and writer. His name is Cooper Rafe. He created Hal and Harper. Anyway, we were talking about kind of like how television's changed. It was just a really interesting conversation. I suggest people watch, even if you don't necessarily care about that show. It just was a really good interview. Because I feel like a lot of times now when people watch TV, like they don't give it enough of a chance. You know what I mean? Like somebody watches it, and if it doesn't grab you, like in the first episode, there's a lot of people just quit watching it. And
I think a lot of the binge models during TV disservice because I think that
yeah,
all you're getting given everything at once, and if you're given all the presents at once, you don't appreciate it as much as getting a present each week.
that is true. I mean,
Especially in mystery shows, like Only Murders in the Building started out with 3 episode drop in the beginning. It was way too much.
yeah. Look, I'm notoriously a binger. I like when they drop it all at
Oh
once.
yeah,
However, as a streamer, I do not like that
it
because it makes
depends
it
on the
harder for
show.
us.
I mean, if it's a
Huh?
mystery show, no. If it's like
Yeah,
a different type,
I,
like a comedy or something, maybe I would go
yeah,
through them.
I kind of appreciate having to wait, but like it
Yeah,
has to be forced upon me. If I don't have to wait, I usually don't. Just because,
yeah,
like I said, I'm bad. I'm a binger. I
yeah.
I tend to keep going, but I do kind of miss like having a week to digest it. But
Hmm.
I question like how many people when they watch a show, they watch like one episode and they stop because they don't like it. And I always
Hmm.
wonder like how many people actually got to the second episode to find out it was so good, or the people that are reviewing it, like did they only watch one episode and give
Yeah,
up?
it's
That's
true.
why they
Yeah.
didn't like it. And sometimes shows get bad ratings because of that. I usually, if I can, unless I really hate something, I usually try to give an episode or a show at least 2 episodes because
Yeah.
I know that
Hmm.
sometimes the first one is a lot of
Well, you
exposition.
see, that's the Yellow Jackets problem. Is a lot of people don't give Yellow Jackets a chance because the first season's a very slow burn.
Yeah, and
Like they don't
Severance
even get to the
had a
cabin
little
until
bit of
like
that
episode
problem.
5. I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
Severance had a
wait.
little bit of that problem. It was a little slower at the beginning.
Yeah, so a
Um,
lot of people gave it up, and I'm like, well, just keep watching it. It gets
yeah.
good.
No, it does, and I agree with you. But that's why I a lot of times too think that I don't know how much you watch a lot of like British dramas. I watch a lot of British mysteries. And
Yeah.
the thing I've noticed is, and I think it's like an American thing
Mhm.
because of the fact that it seems like our viewing is that people don't have long attention spans and don't keep watching it. I feel like when
Yeah.
you watch an American show, you expect it to have something in that first episode that really grabs you. But if
Yeah.
you watch
Or
a
the first
British
5 minutes even.
or the first 5 minutes, or like in the
Yeah.
opening, in the cold open, yeah. But like
Yeah.
if you watch a lot of British mysteries, they take a lot of time, which I actually appreciate and usually like, is that they a lot of times really explain like the stuff they do as like the detective, like the
Yeah.
whole case. You get more detail on it. But because of that, I feel like if you watch a British mystery, sometimes it takes like maybe 3 episodes to actually understand what's going on. And a lot of
Mhm.
people, I think, don't like them for that reason. Like they get bored really quick. And
Yeah.
I tend to like those, but I get it. Sometimes you're like, it's hard to do that. And I think that, viewers over here, yeah, they don't a lot of times wait long enough. So I
Mhm.
do hope that people that watch this, if you didn't like the first one, I do hope that you gave it another one because I felt completely different after the first one. Because look, I had these, like I had all of them at once. And
Mhm.
I mean, beforehand, obviously we all have all of them at once, but I mean, I had them, weeks in advance. And I did not have time to watch all of them, or I probably would have, but I watched the first one and then I didn't end up getting interviews. So I didn't watch the other ones. And then I didn't watch the second one till yesterday, or I guess now it was the day before yesterday because it's after midnight. But then
Yeah.
I watched it. And after I watched the second one, I'm like, I want to keep watching this. And if I
Mhm.
had gotten that far the first time, I probably would have watched the whole thing. Other than I don't have enough hours in my day and don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm really bad at binging, so I'm
Well,
not the person.
and I also, if I'm covering, I don't want the episodes to bleed into each other for me to like, say something happened in that
Yeah,
episode that didn't happen.
I try to do that. I just don't always make it. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way. But a lot of time, it's partially because I'm used to having to binge it though. Because a lot of times, like I need to for the interviews, and I have to watch them all, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Uh-huh. I
oh, I
understand
can
it.
wait. Yeah. So sometimes I see a bit further, but I didn't end up watching further on this one until yesterday, and now I'm like ready to go back and get them all, get the rest of them out of the way. But I'm
Mhm.
gonna try to wait. I don't know how well that will work if I'm honest, as I tend to say that, and then I'm like, oh, sorry, I watched it all. So we'll see.
The butler
Um,
did it.
yeah, the butler did it. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I liked it. I did like it better after the first one. That's my official thing there. So
the ghost of his dad is taking over his body.
maybe, yeah, who knows? That could be the possibility too, right?
Whoa.
That would be interesting. Maybe. I don't know. Anything else?
I don't know. I felt like it was kind of a like you don't say it's supernatural, but kind of ghostly feeling thing I could watch around Halloween and have it be cozy.
Yeah, it's a good one for Halloween. I'll agree with that. And
Yeah.
you know what
But
I'm
that's the
noticing?
atmosphere. Like the
Yeah,
atmosphere
and I
and
was gonna
vibe.
say it's also I noticed the aesthetic, like it's got like a green tone to the whole thing. I'm not
Yeah.
sure like why they decided that, but it makes me wonder if maybe like the flashbacks are different or something and I didn't notice it.
Mm,
Because I noticed the green tone, but like I didn't really notice if anything wasn't green tone. You know what I mean?
mm.
Sometimes like you notice one over the other.
Like
But
it might be different levels of, you know,
yeah, sometimes that
psychiatry or the ghostiness.
yeah. I don't know. I just noticed the green, but I didn't notice it not being that way. So it might be the whole show. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um but I really, yeah, I really like it. But I don't really have a bunch left to say. So I did want to ask though, do you want to continue to do 2 episodes? I mean, I think it could get us through quicker, and that isn't necessarily a bad idea if we're going to do it to do two at a
Yeah.
time.
It'd probably be cool. It'd probably be
Yeah,
easy.
I
Yeah.
mean, we got under 2 hours, and we did both episodes, so I
Hmm.
think that worked well. Because look, there's a lot to discuss, but it's not from. I mean, we don't gotta. I don't
Yes, we
think the
do.
show.
You gotta get a board out.
No, but I just mean like I don't think that this is a show that's going to have a season two. So it's not like we have like
Yeah,
there's some
it's
things.
like an enclosed mystery. Like
Yeah, it's like I said with
yeah,
the guy at the beginning, Arlo. I could be wrong, but I don't think we're going to see him again. Or if we do, I don't think it's going to be anything important that we need to know about.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But sorry, my computer's making weird noises. I'm like, what was that? It was my computer. Um, yeah. So I guess we will come back. We'll do 11 on Wednesday again, and we'll do 2 episodes then, everybody. So please come back Wednesday, and Karen and AJ and I do a quick review of it on Tuesdays at 10, but we're not going anywhere in depth like we did tonight. So you can watch both of them and enjoy both of them. But until then, please join us tomorrow at 11 Eastern for our Halloween special, which will run through midnight. So it technically will be on Halloween. And we'll have some fun trivia. And please, guys, let us know the kind of stuff you want to see. Leave comments in the video. Yeah, I mean we're trying to see what kind of other shows we can cover. I know AJ and I have been talking. I think we're gonna do a Marvel thing, maybe a Shield thing. See how I'm definitely all for that because that's like my jam right now. So even though it's been on, we're talking about that, and we're also going to be starting a spotlight interview series. We're trying to set up with some various shows that have maybe already aired to get kind of some fan favorite stuff going. So that's the hope anyway, that we'll get some more live content for you guys. But in the meantime, please make sure you check out the video tab for our non-live interviews. There's a lot of good content up there. There's more Tulsa King coming. Mayor of Kingstown. I'm looking to see what all was up there.
What
And
season is
then
that on?
what? I'm sorry.
What season is that on?
4. I believe, isn't it 4?
Wow.
Yeah, 4. I had to
I
look.
watched a little bit of season 1. That's all I got
No,
to see.
I've been wanting to watch it, so I was glad I watched part of it because it's filmed in Pittsburgh, so that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. I had asked him about Pittsburgh, but yeah, we get that, and then also coverage for the new show, The Artist, will be coming soon, because that junket is on the way. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming. Good interview I'm waiting to do. Will be going up soon. So yeah, everybody make sure you check that out. And of course, go to scifivision.com for all of our interviews. And yeah, join Discord if you haven't. The link's in the chat. I think I pinned it, didn't I? I'm looking, double checking, making sure I pinned it. If you haven't, make sure that, where is my video? It's not coming, or not my video, there it is, my window. If you haven't, make sure you join our Discord. It is pinned in the chat. I forgot again to post the actual schedule in there, but you can always find the links for our live streams. But I'm gonna try to remember to post a schedule of the whole week for people that are looking to see um, what's going on when. Right now we have Mondays, we have Talamasca, and
Yeah.
Tuesdays, of course, our show that has multiple things for Fandom Access. And then we're going to be doing this on Wednesday. And like I said, AJ and I are going to probably be doing something for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and or Marvel soon. So if you're interested in that, please, one, let us know, because we're trying to decide how to break it up. I would love to say we'll do one episode and just do a rewatch, but there's like 135 episodes. So unless we want to go over like 2 years, I don't know that he's ready for that kind of a commitment, whether I am or not. But I'm like on this kick. I'm obsessed with this show now. So that's, like I said, that's my new thing.
How many seasons is that one?
It's 7. But
7?
the old
Oh, that's
seasons,
fun.
the first 5 are like 22 episodes apiece. It's got the good long seasons.
Yeah.
In season 6 and 7 or 13. But I've already, since I ran out, I'm on Daredevil and Jessica Jones now. So I'm moving through my Marvel stuff because I hadn't seen a lot of the series. But there's that. I also, for people interested, I have a long interview with Christopher Gorham that'll be coming out soon. That's for Sheriff's Country, and he's been in some other things too. But that's kind of the main show he's on right now, as well as he'll be on what's it called, Georgie and Mandy and Georgie and Mandy, whatever it's called. I think it's Georgie and Mandy. Their first marriage.
Their first marriage, yeah.
Yeah,
I know about it because I watch Ghosts. I don't watch the show, but I see the trailers for it before Ghosts.
Yeah, he's going to be on the next season again of that. So that interview will be coming up. I've been following him a long time. We talked about Odyssey 5 too, and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, that was a really good interview. That'll be coming up soon too. So everybody can look forward to that. And like I said, The Artist, which is a pretty funny show that's coming on the network called The Network, which is fairly new. So yeah, I have some stuff coming out. So yeah, look for that. And until then, we will see you tomorrow for Halloween. And yeah, hopefully I'll figure out something for a costume. We'll see.
Devil's Night party, everyone.
Yep. Oh, I just thought, even if I don't have a costume, I totally have an image to put up for my icon if I hide myself, because I've been I'll just say I've been messing with learning some new techniques to use some images with the local, essentially Nano Banana, and doing some stuff. I know you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I've been having some fun. So I have some cool pictures I can use as my my avatar. So we'll see. But all right,
cheat over my head and be a spooky ghost.
Yeah, you can. You should get a mask or something, and then you can put your camera on if you don't want to show face to your
you gotta plug back your mask and just look menacing and just stand in the corner.
Oh, you could. You can do a lot of things. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta see if I can get together, if I still have my costume and it works out, but probably will do that. But I will see everybody tomorrow, and then also I'm gonna be joining Lori a little bit on Friday for her Walking Dead / more trivia thing on Real Cinema Therapy. So
trivia until you pass out.
Yes, you can check that out as well. She's doing the pilot of Walking Dead, so that is a coming.
I'm gonna be in the woods dancing at a goth rave. I said I'm gonna be in the middle of the woods dancing at a goth rave.
Yeah,
because seriously, in my area, that's the only thing that's going on, and you might as well.
I wish I had a Halloween party to go to. I'll be giving out candy earlier in the night, and that's about it. Which is boring.
I don't really get people coming over. I mean, I have it just in case.
Well, I don't know. There's not really a lot going on around here, at least not that I know of. So not with the people I know of. So
I even know my neighbor's kids, and I mean, they could come over and get candy if they wanted. I got stuff.
Never know. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Unless Lazarus' dad's ghost sees you first.